Hi guys, this is my first vlog. I'm going to be doing my everyday makeup routine. I guess I'll just get started. I did just try to record this a minute ago and it sort of cut me off, so I've already applied my primer now. The primer that I've used is the Bare Minerals Prime Time. I just use my hands to apply this. I just do one pump on the back of my hand and then put a dab on either cheek, my chin and my forehead, and a little tiny bit on my nose, and then I just rub it on. There's no real special technique to it. Then I use the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation. My shade is NW10 because I'm particularly pale. I've bought the pump for this one, so again I just pump it on the back of my hand. I do about half a pump, so it's like a little blob like that. I find that that's enough for me. I mean, sometimes I do have to do like a little bit extra, but we will see how it goes today. And I do a similar thing to like I do with the primer. I take a bit, I put a bit on one cheek, a bit on the other cheek, chin, forehead, nose. And the only difference with this one is I do also put a bit on my chin and a little bit under the eyes. And then the little remaining bit I just sort of shove somewhere. And the brush I'm using for this is it's one I got off eBay actually. It says it's a MAC 187. Whether it actually is or not is another issue. I think it's probably just a dupe. I am looking to invest in a brush. I'm actually going shopping today, so I might pick it up today. If I do, I'll do a blog about it. And yeah, just stipple it on. So now I like this. That's happened a couple times to me. I like to use the stippling brush as I like the airbrush kind of effect that it gives. Just realised my hand was all cacked like that. I don't do any sort of particular style other than, as you can see, I sort of do it in a circular motion. I mean, I know some people, will do one half of the face and then the other, things like that. I don't really bother with that. So yeah, obviously, as you can see, I definitely need to get a new brush. The next product I use would be my concealer for under my eyes. I use this, and this is the YSL Touche Eclat, and I believe mine's just the number 1. Doesn't say anywhere on it, but I believe mine's number 1. I generally get the lighter shade in whatever it is I buy. So I just do a little swipe under each eye, and then I use my ring finger sort of thing and just rub it underneath. Now you've got to be very careful when it comes to your eyes, as the skin under your eyes is very delicate, so make sure not to stretch or anything like that really, otherwise you could damage it, and no one wants wrinkles really, so if you can prevent them as much as possible, then do so. Okay. So as you can see, at the moment it's still quite apparent that I've got concealer under there, but generally after a while it does fade a little bit, so it's not as apparent. Then I will use my setting powder, which I'm using the Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC, and mine is the shade Light. I've got an e.l.f. Sorry, I got cut off there. Let me just move that. So yeah, as I was saying, I use the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, and I use the e.l.f. complexion brush to apply this with. And very simple. I always start with my nose. That's not for any particular reason, it's just sort of force of habit, I guess. Now, the main thing I should probably say about the look I go for is I prefer a matte finish, which is why I use the products that I do. If you prefer sort of a more dewy look, then obviously the products that I'm using may not be applicable to you. Okay, and then for my bronzer, I don't use blusher actually. it's just not for any particular reason, just I've not found a blusher that I actually really like, and I'd rather, you know, use no blusher than one that I don't really like the look of. But so the bronzer I use is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural again, and this one's a medium plus. Now the reason why I use this and I don't use like an actual MAC bronzer is because a lot of the bronzers are quite what's the word, sort of, they have like a glittery undertone, so I don't like like I said, I prefer a matte finish, so I don't like the sort of glitter that they have in there, so I just use this instead. And I just, this brush is from Primark actually. It's I think it's £1.50 now, but it was £1 when I got it. It's just a little kabuki brush. They come in purple or pink, and it does the job. Like I said, I'm going shopping today, so I may get a new brush to apply my bronzer as well, because it is something I need to invest in, because it's not great, but it does the job at the end of the day. As you can see, I just sort of do it as a diagonal upwards, and I get a little bit on the sides here, and I also do it under my chin, as it makes the face look thinner. I feel like I'm putting a lot on, but I can't actually see it. This one is a bit more. Okay, there we go. Got there in the end. Right, and then it's to my eyes is the next step that I do. So the eyeliner I use is by L'Oreal. It's the L'Oreal Paris Superliner Black Lacquer. Lacquer. Is it, or is it lacquer? I don't know. You can tell me. This is just in the black shade. I like it because I don't know. I've used this for years, maybe 2 years now. I just like the brush on it. Because I prefer a liquid liner. I have tried to use gel liners, but I just personally I can't get on with it. I may try them again in the future, but for now, this is my holy grail for eyeliner. Sorry, I'm just going to move my mirror a bit forward so I can do this a bit better. And I just close my lid and hold it down and pull it apart, and pull it back, so you know I can get as much of the eye as I can. And then I start from the inner corner and just work my way along my eye. Now, as you can see, towards the end of my eye, I go up a little bit. That is because I like to have it thin this end and have it go thicker out, and then I do like a little flick at the end as well. So if I show you. So this eyeliner, it's really, the brush is like really thin, but not thin enough that, you know, you have to do it 110 times to get any kind of thickness. It's just a nice sort of sized wand, I guess. You wouldn't call it a brush necessarily. The only thing I would say is, like I'm experiencing now, if you're running out of product, it can be a bit of a pain. But I should be more prepared. So as you can see, it starts off thin and I make it go thicker and then off to a flick. I do that every day. Every day I have that look. I think the way that I do it, and then with the mascara, it just makes my eyes look bigger. It almost looks like a big lash at the end sort of thing. And then I'll just do my other eye quickly. Now I don't know why, but on this eye I tend to do it the other way around. I go from the outer to the inner. I'm thinking it's because of where I'm right-handed and I'm doing my left eye. I just Can't adapt really. Sorry, that's my phone. They look. Okay, right, so there's them. That's my eyeliner done. Then I will use my mascara next. The one I'm using at the moment is a new one I just got, so I'm still trialing it at this time, and it's the CoverGirl Crump Crusher by Lash Blast. I've used this a couple of times. It's quite good. There are other mascaras I've used in the past that I do like better, but like I said, I tried it for about a week because, you know, I could have just had a bad day. So there's no real special technique to this, it's just sort of putting on mascara. I just make sure I get all the corners and everything. And I do use this, I know some people don't put mascara on their lower lashes. However, I do, because otherwise your eyes can look quite small. It makes your eyes look bigger if you use it on your lower lashes. I only put a little bit on compared to my top lashes. As you can see on my top lashes, it's fairly thick, and I just put a light amount on the bottom lashes. Just because you're better to have something than nothing, and then just the same to the other lash. I tend to do this thing when I'm putting on mascara where I sort of twist the brush as I'm doing it, and I've noticed especially that I've been doing it with this one as well, purely because if you look at the brush where it's kind of curved, so I like to sort of use as much product on the brush at one time as I can. Okay, so now what I generally do is I put on some lip balm, because I always put lip balm on every day. I think it's very important to make sure your lips are moisturised, and especially as it's coming up to winter now, it's especially important. The one that I've been using for like the past year and a half is, I would show you on the packaging, but it's rubbed off because I use it so much. It's the Burt's Bees Lip Balm Stick. This is just the original one, because I know they do different flavours like mango and things, but this is the one that's I believe it's the original one, and sort of got like a minty flavour to it. So let's put some lip balm on. Now the reason I put this on now is because I'm going to be putting on lipstick, and you don't want to put lipstick on straight after you put lip balm on, otherwise it will wipe off straight away. So I put that on, and then I'll do some other products, and then that gives the lip balm enough time to sort of work in on my lips, and then I can put my lipstick on. So now I put a tiny bit of eyeliner on the bottom in my sort of waterline. The pencil I'm using is by Urban Decay. It's the 24/7 Glide On pencil, and this is just the black one. It's called Zero. I don't actually put it on my full waterline, because I find no matter what, I mean, I still should really look into it a bit more, but I've got a lot of products, as I've mentioned during this video, I need to get. I always find that it does always wear off, and you know, you sort of end up with a big smudge at the bottom, but I don't want to have nothing, otherwise, you know, my eyes just look kind of odd. So I always put it in the corner, and I put a light bit like towards the middle of my eye. You'll see when I do it. So I sort of give it like a gradient effect, and also sort of makes the flick I do at the end sort of come together with the bottom of my eye. So if you see, I'll do a thicker bit here, and then sort of fade it out towards the middle. So that way I've got a bit on my bottom eye, and as you can see, it sort of makes it look sort of more triangular here. But I don't like it on my full waterline, because I think, especially where it's black, it sort of closes your eye up. It doesn't make it look very voluminous, which is obviously what I've used the mascara and the eyeliner, the top eyeliner for in the first place. So it defeats the point. And then just the same on that one. Okay, so then I'll use my brow pencil. I'm currently using it's one by Rimmel. I couldn't tell you the name of it or anything because it's all rubbed off, but yeah, it's okay. I put in one of my sort of blogs the other day that, you know, I'm looking for a new brow product, and I read up about a Bobbi Brown one, which I might look into getting. I do also have the Benefit Browsings, but I personally don't really like it. So yeah, and then I just use the little brush on the top. I need to get my eyebrows done because I've just got back off holiday, so they haven't been done for about 3 weeks. Okay, I now use a lightening sort of eyeliner for the corner of my tear ducts, and the one I'm using is Eye Bright by Benefit, and I just put sort of a little triangle sort of along with my tear duct sort of outline. Now it looks quite like apparent, like as you can see my concealer's faded a bit now, so you can't really tell that I've got concealer on as a separate product, but this will be quite bright to start with, but then it will fade as well, similar to the concealer. And then lastly is my lipstick, and the one I'm using is by MAC, and I'm going to be using Creme Cup, and it's a cream sheen. It's just a sort of, I don't know what's going on here. It's just like a pale pink, sort of everyday neutral sort of shade. And then again, just sort of apply so. And then if I show you, turn that off. That is my everyday makeup routine. Thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe or read my blog or subscribe to my new YouTube channel. Thanks for your time.